I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hey mamas, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we are talking about basically the way that the world works, the way that our businesses work, the way that everything new is created in this world. We are talking about the innovation cycle. And this podcast episode was really inspired by this training that I'm doing right now, Time Redesigned. You know, I've been talking about it for the past couple of episodes. This is a kind of like a mini course that I'm doing. It's a 3-day live experience where I am teaching you how to handle your time, how to take what you think is not enough time and actually accomplish all of the things that you want to accomplish in your business, in your life. And it has been fantastic. And I wanted to share about this one piece of that training for a couple of different reasons, which I'm going to talk about throughout the episode. But I think this is going to be really interesting to all of you. This is going to be kind of one of those behind the scenes peeks into my business, and it is going to be a literal step-by-step how-to for you in your businesses as well. So if you are listening to this on the day that it comes out, we are in the middle of Time Redesigned live. So you can still join. You can still go to time.samanthasifring.com. We'll pop that in the show notes for you. You can still join and catch up. There's a couple days worth of replays, but you can still catch up. Those replays are in there. If you are hearing this the day it comes out and you are not in Time Redesigned yet. And if you have missed it and you're listening to this episode and it's in the future and it's not the day that it came out, you can still use that same link to find the evergreen version. And for those of you who are not super deep into the online business marketing lingo, evergreen is just like the tree. It's looking the same year round. And it is the same with evergreen stuff, evergreen offers, evergreen content, that kind of thing. It is something that is available, applicable, live, all year round, all the time. So we already know Time Redesigned is just so fantastic. We want to take it evergreen. We want people to be able to purchase that replay and watch it over again, or watch it for the first time if they missed it. So we want you to know that that is available if you missed it the first time. Also, if you're in Mom It Is CEO, the replay is available in your portal. So you don't have to feel like you have to go and purchase the replay separately. We've included that for all of our Mom It Is CEO students. That is available for you in your member portal. So let's talk about the innovation cycle. And here we're going to start off with like the opposite of it. We're going to start with what we think is how things work, like how we think our businesses should work, how we think other people's businesses work. This is probably how you think my business works. So you set a goal, step 1. Step 2 is you create a plan to hit that goal. And step 3, you implement that plan and it's a success. Yay! This is a myth. That 3-step process is a myth that is not real. But so many of us think it. We think that there is a plan that we will know that for sure will succeed in advance. Like we set a goal and then we craft a plan, and that plan is the plan to succeed. That is like the perfect plan that's for sure going to get the results. And if we can't figure out the perfect plan to get results, then we just don't do anything at all. You know what I'm talking about. I see a lot of you out there doing this. So we use this idea of this perfect plan, this success plan, to hurt ourselves by either not taking action, or when we are implementing the plan and it's not looking like it's going to get us the result we want, then we sabotage it mid-plan, or we execute the plan and then we fail and we experience so much shame that we don't attempt again, or we don't evaluate, we don't try to learn from what happened. And sometimes also I see a lot of you fail and you make that mean that it's never going to work, and you totally abandon the goal and the plan, and you totally change direction. I've seen all of these different reactions, all coming from this same idea that the steps are make goal, create plan, execute plan, succeed, when really this isn't the case. So here is how it really works. You need to know this. You set the goal. You create the plan. You fail. You evaluate so you can learn. And then you take the same goal and an adjusted plan based on what you learn, and you do it all over again. And you keep doing that cycle over and over and over until you start hitting the goal every time. Okay? Failure is the way. This is how this works. Failure is your path to success. I want you to think about anything that's ever been created, ever been accomplished, ever in the world by humans. All of it came from this process. This is the innovation cycle. Failure is part of innovation. And what we are all doing in our businesses, we are all innovating. You are an innovator. This is why there's no magic guidebook out there or magic process out there that you can just follow, plug and chug, and get the same results as someone else. That doesn't exist. Perfect example of this is Time Redesigned. It's going amazing. I am loving it. And the number of people who have registered for the event and purchased a ticket for the event is less than the goal that I set when I first crafted the plan. Now, I'm not making this a problem. It's a data point. This is giving our team information, right? And I don't think that this has to impact my overall goal for this, which is Mama to CEO program sales, at all. I don't think that less people signing up on the front end of the launch has to impact the result on the back end. That's my project to figure out this week, to really be working on this week, really be looking at my plan and not believing that it has to change because of this one piece. What I'm doing with Time Redesigned is very similar to something that a friend of mine did a couple months ago. Now, she had 10 times more people buy her 3-day mini course experience than I have with mine. A lot of the variables are exactly the same. So just following what somebody else has done does not automatically lead to getting the same results that they have gotten. If that was true, that'd be fantastic, right? That would be so great. We could just buy these amazing formulas from super successful people and we would know 1, 2, 3, the exact steps, how to do it. We could just insert that right into our business. We could send the same emails as them, use the same script as them. All of the things could be identical and we would get the same result. But that isn't the case. And that's why I don't teach, here's the one right way in my programs. That's why my programs are developed to say, here are the things that are true for everybody. Here are the things that are going to make your life easier. Here's how to keep your plan super simple. And here's how, after you've set your goal, after you've created your simple plan, and after you've done it, here's how to evaluate it and learn and make the next plan. I support you in following your innovation cycle. I can't give you a success plan. Nobody can. All right? That's not a thing. But I can help you use the innovation cycle more efficiently, more effectively, faster to get where you want to go faster. So let's kind of break down each of these steps and what this really looks like in the innovation cycle. Step 1, you want to have an explicit goal. You really want to know, what is the result I am trying to create? A lot of you have really vague thoughts about your goal. Sometimes your goal is like actions that you're going to take, and that's not how you want it to be. You want your goal to be a result you want to create. And I think typically the best way to do this is having a financial goal. Sometimes it's better to have like an enrollment goal of like number of people, but you really want to be careful about that because I see a lot of you are like nervous to set a financial goal out loud, but inside you have a financial goal that you want to set. This happened to me a couple years ago. There was this month that I can't remember what my goal was now. I think I set the goal of 5 new clients. And in my mind, I was actually married to the result of like pay in full times 5. But what actually happened is that I made way less money. I think it was like my smallest month in that whole year. It was my lowest revenue month in that whole year. I signed 5 clients, but it was like one bought a one-off call, a couple got on a payment plan, one put down a deposit for a retreat that I was going to do. It was like I got 5 people, but I didn't get the result I really wanted. And a big part of that is because I never named the goal that I really wanted. I kept it secret. I was afraid to really own it and go after it. So you need an explicit goal. This needs to be super clear. And this is something that I help my clients with in Mama to CEO. I know sometimes it's hard for people to set goals. This is one of the things that we do in there is set really explicit goals. The next step is to take that goal and create a simple plan based on your best guess. Now, this is another area where it's so helpful to work with a coach, and this is another thing that is so important to me to include in Mama to CEO is helping you figure out that best guess, helping you truly make it the best guess that it can be. I help my clients really identify what that is, both in the course that is a part of Mama to CEO and in the coaching that we're doing in that program so that you always know the steps that you're taking to create the result that you want to create in the time frame that you're working on it in. So you've got your explicit goal, you've got your simple plan, and now it's time to go out and implement. And this is going to involve failure. And here's what I want you to know. I have a very positive opinion of failure. As I have already said on here, it is the way that we figure out how to create success. failure after failure after failure, layer those together, you build a success house with failure bricks. That is how this works. But a lot of us feel bad when we fail, and that's okay. I want to tell you that part of this process is giving yourself some space if you feel bad. Let yourself just take some time to feel bad. Lay on the couch, put on some sweatpants, watch a sad movie, whatever you need to do, process through whatever comes up for you around failure. And once you've given some space for that, then it's time to learn. And this is another area that coaching is so supportive with this learning piece, because you have to evaluate, you have to kind of go through, all right, what was this whole thing? What were all the steps? What were all of the elements of my simple plan? And what about this didn't work? Where were the things that really did, and where were the things that really didn't? And I have a whole 3-step process for evaluation in Mama to CEO that I really haven't seen anyone else teaching in the way that I do. I have you ask a little bit different questions than any other kind of evaluation process that I've ever seen. And it really allows you to both acknowledge yourself, identify the opportunities for growth, and really comb through everything for as much value as possible. Because we obviously, as I'm talking about on this whole episode, fail our way to success. But some of us fail way more than we need to because we're not learning as much as we can from each failure. You want to kind of imagine that each failure you have is like an orange or a lemon or something, and you're like, I'm going to squeeze all of the juice that I can get out of this, and I'm going to squeeze and get it all out. And the process that I teach is like the professional juicer, squeezer things that help you get every last drop from every failure in lessons through that 3-step evaluation process. That is what I teach in Mama to CEO. You all need to be in there so that you can be making the most of every failure. So you can squeeze every last drop out of your failures so that the next time you attempt, it's going to give you more data. It's going to take you down the road further. You're not going to be repeating any of the same mistakes. Not that it's going to be perfect every single time, but you're going to have such quantum leaps of growth in between attempts, in between plans, when you are evaluating at such a deep level like this. So you've got your explicit goal, you've got your simple plan, you implemented and failed, and then you evaluated to learn. Your final step is to take that same goal with an adjusted plan. And the evaluation, when you've done it really thoroughly, like I teach you, you are then going to be able to know exactly how to adjust your plan. You're not going to look at that old plan and be confused. After your evaluation, you're going to know exactly what you want to shift, and you're going to preserve that same goal. You're going to continue to go after that same goal with updated plans from your learning until you hit your goal. And this is what it means to be committed to your goal no matter what. That failure does not have you changing your goal. Failure has you learning and getting closer and closer to your goal every single time. All right, mamas, I will talk to you again next week. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, MAMATOCEO.com.